the body of Vanessa Hart lay on the rain-soaked pavement. Her couture dress was stained red under the glow of Palm Beach streetlights. Hours earlier, she had been the epitome of Florida sophistication. Wealthy, stunning, adored. Now, she was the focal point of a crime scene that would shatter the illusion of safety in one of America's most elite enclaves. Tonight, we dive into how a forbidden romance between a glamorous socialite and her young Cuban-American neighbor spiraled from hidden passion to deadly obsession. Ever wondered what lies behind the flawless facades of luxury estates? Those manicured lawns and gated drives often hide lives of emptiness, desperate desires, and dangerous secrets. How many couples in your circle seem perfect in public while privately unraveling? This story might make you question the ideal relationships around you. Vanessa Hart's tragic end reveals the deadly consequences when privilege meets passion. A woman who seemed to have it all, wealth, status, admiration, risked everything for fleeting moments of real connection with someone society deemed unsuitable. Her fatal decision shows how isolation can lurk even in the most enviable lives. In this true crime documentary, we'll uncover how Vanessa's carefully curated world unraveled into chaos. You'll see how initial attraction turned into fatal possession, how digital evidence exposed their secret rendezvous, and how investigators pieced together the final violent confrontation that left one dead and another facing life in prison. Before we continue, hit subscribe to Sinister Thoughts and turn on notifications. Your support fuels our in-depth explorations of cases that expose the darker sides of human desire. If you're captivated by the psychology of fatal attractions, drop a comment sharing what draws you to these dangerous connections. What pushes someone to risk everything for forbidden love? What red flags did Vanessa's inner circle miss? And how did a romance sparked at a charity gala end in bloodshed on a quiet Palm Beach street? The answers lie within the exclusive gated community where appearances were everything and exposure meant ruin. The Hartwell estate stood as a testament to generational wealth, 12,000 square feet of architectural splendor nestled in Palm Beach's most prestigious enclave. From custom chandeliers to imported limestone floors, every detail of Vanessa's home was meticulously chosen. The estate graced lifestyle magazines and charity brochures, much like Vanessa-dominated society pages and fundraiser guest lists. At 40, Vanessa Hart embodied Florida's elite. Her wardrobe boasted exclusive designer pieces, her calendar overflowed with galas, luncheons, and private events. Her philanthropy earned her a reputation as not just rich, but compassionate. Board members craved her endorsement, hostesses vied for her presence, and aspiring socialites emulated her every move. Vanessa had mastered the art of seeming perfect, recalled her confidant, Lauren Brooks. She could charm art collectors, debate policy with lawmakers, and captivate anyone in her orbit. Thomas Hartwell complimented his wife's social brilliance with quiet financial prowess. A retired hedge fund manager, he had grown his family's fortune through shrewd investments in tech and coastal real estate. Their marriage appeared as the gold standard of elite unions, blending old money with strategic ambition. Yet behind closed doors, a different truth simmered. Security footage later revealed a home where the couple rarely shared space. Staff described a household where communication happened through assistants and scheduled dinners felt like corporate meetings. They performed unity at public events, explained Dr. Elaine Carter, a psychologist who testified at the trial. Many high-profile couples master appearing connected while emotionally distant. The pressure to uphold appearances often overshadows fixing the relationship's real issues. As years passed, Thomas withdrew into boardrooms and yacht clubs, his presence at home reduced to brief stopovers between business trips and charity duties. While he remained courteous to Vanessa, the spark that once united them had faded, leaving only mutual respect and shared social obligations. For Vanessa, this emotional void became impossible to ignore. Her private journal, later uncovered, revealed her growing frustration. Another gala where Thomas barely looked at me. I wonder if anyone sees how we circle each other without connecting. 15 years married, and I've never felt lonelier. This house is full of beautiful things but empty of real conversation. I'm an ornament in my own life, admired, never truly known. While Vanessa upheld her social duties with polished grace, her private discontent deepened. The gap between her public image and inner reality left her vulnerable. She had wealth, status, security, everything but genuine connection. This void became the fertile ground where dangerous desire took root. Vanessa's perfect life had become her gilded cage, and she was quietly searching for escape. The summer charity gala at the Palm Beach Country Club marked the start of Vanessa's downfall. Amid flowing champagne and polished small talk under twinkling chandeliers, she met Javier Cruz. At 30, Javier was everything the insular elite rarely embraced: youthful energy, charisma, and outsider roots. A tech entrepreneur who turned a startup into a multi-million-dollar empire, he'd recently bought the sleek modern mansion next to the Hartwell estate. His Cuban-American heritage and self-made success made him a curiosity and a subtle outcast among the old money crowd. Javier stood out instantly, recalled the event photographer. While everyone else blended into that polished sameness, he wore a tailored green suit with subtle tropical flair. His laugh felt real. Their conversation started innocently, centered on the charity's literacy program for underserved communities. But as Vanessa later confided to her assistant, something shifted. For the first time in years, I felt seen, she wrote in a locked phone note. Not as Thomas Hartwell's wife or the foundation's face, but as a woman with ideas that mattered. He asked about my dreams, my regrets, what I'd change if I weren't bound by expectations. While Thomas networked across the room, Vanessa and Javier moved to the terrace. Security footage captured her shifting from poised elegance to genuine warmth during their 40-minute talk. Over the following weeks, their chance encounters multiplied, at the community library discussing books, at an art gallery debating modern artists, and during morning jogs in the private neighborhood park. Digital forensics later revealed these meetings were planned. Texts setting exact times, deleted calendar entries, and shared locations ensuring their paths crossed while maintaining plausible deniability. For Vanessa, Javier embodied everything missing from her curated life: spontaneity, passion, authenticity. His directness sliced through the polite deflections she'd perfected in high society. "You're living in a gilded cage," he told her early on. "Everyone admires the cage, but no one sees you're trapped." That piercing truth cracked Vanessa's flawless facade. Dr. Carter testified, "When someone who feels invisible is suddenly truly seen, it creates an emotional vulnerability that can override logic. Add attraction and the thrill of the forbidden, and you've got the perfect recipe for emotional capture, where protecting the new connection trumps self-preservation." By summer's end, their bond had deepened from intellectual spark to emotional intimacy. The line between friendship and romance blurred with every private talk, every stolen glance across crowded rooms. Vanessa stood at the edge of a choice that would cost her everything. Their first kiss happened on a rainy September night. Security footage showed Vanessa entering Javier's modern home at 9:32 p.m., supposedly to drop off a book, while Thomas attended a finance summit in New York. What began as intellectual chemistry ignited into physical passion. Javier's sleek loft, with its floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the Atlantic, became their haven. Unlike Vanessa's estate, weighed down by legacy and expectation, his space radiated freedom and possibility. Their digital exchanges showed classic affair patterns, noted forensic psychologist Dr. Marcus Reed. Over 2,700 texts in 6 weeks, mostly between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m., using coded language and auto-deleting apps. These weren't impulsive acts but deliberate choices to protect a secret world, he said. Vanessa's dual life demanded increasing vigilance. She crafted elaborate alibis, invented charity meetings, and relied on loyal staff for cover. Her stylist later testified about buying duplicate outfits, one pristine in her closet, the other worn to meet Javier. Have you ever kept a secret so consuming it changed how you lived? If you've hidden a part of yourself, you know the constant risk-reward calculations. Share your thoughts in the comments. What drives people to build these double lives despite the risks? As weeks passed, the affair's intensity grew. Hotel records showed bookings under aliases, credit card statements revealed jewelry purchases from discreet Miami boutiques, and security footage caught fleeting encounters in parking garages and service elevators, brief moments in a relationship built on stolen time. Meanwhile, the tight-knit community noticed subtle shifts. Vanessa, once impeccably punctual, arrived late to board meetings. Her polished appearance occasionally showed signs of haste. Her usual attentiveness at events gave way to distracted phone glances. "Something changed," said Charity Board member Rachel Evans. She'd always been poised, present. Suddenly, she seemed elsewhere, physically there, mentally gone. Thomas, despite his emotional distance, had the sharp mind of a seasoned investor. He noticed inconsistencies, unexplained absences, conflicting stories, unfamiliar scents. He began tracking them with the precision he applied to business deals. Private investigator Michael Stone later confirmed Thomas hired his firm in October for a personal security assessment, code for surveillance. The community's whisper network buzzed when Vanessa and Javier were seen in close conversation at a fall art auction, their proximity and lingering looks sparking gossip among the hyper-observant elite. While Vanessa thought she kept her world separate, the barriers were crumbling. Each stolen moment with Javier sent ripples through her curated life, ripples that were becoming waves. Neither realized how quickly their private passion would turn into public scandal, or how deadly the consequences would be. By November, the relationship shifted from mutual fascination to dangerous entanglement. Digital records showed the change. Early texts were balanced, intellectual, flirtatious. By fall, Javier's messages grew frequent and urgent, often sent in bursts when Vanessa didn't reply. "I need you tonight." "Why no?" answer. "Are you with him?" Dr. Elena Winters, a clinical psychologist, testified, "The messages show a shift from attachment to control. In romantic obsession, absences feel like betrayals, and boundaries dissolve." Surveillance footage from Javier's building showed Vanessa trying to leave, only for him to subtly block her with intimate gestures, kisses, prolonged talks that kept her there. Controlling behaviors often mask as passion, said domestic violence expert Rita Gomez. Phrases like, "I can't stand you leaving," sound loving, not domineering, until the line blurs. Vanessa's calendar showed canceled charity events, sacrificed to appease Javier's demands. Her sleep tracker revealed disturbed patterns, with wakeful hours matching late-night texts. She was caught between worlds, testified Detective Sandra Lopez. Hotel receipts and footage show she continued the affair but tried setting boundaries, leaving his place only to return after relentless messages. Javier's past raised red flags. 2 ex-partners had sought restraining orders, later withdrawn. A former colleague cited his controlling tendencies. These signs were invisible to Vanessa until December, when Javier appeared in her private garden at 2 a.m. after a gala with Thomas. Security footage captured her shock and his animated gestures during a 17-minute confrontation. The next day, her assistant found her researching security firms. Phone records showed calls to a divorce lawyer, though no meeting was set. Her browser history included searches for controlling relationship red flags and how to end an affair safely. Dr. James Lynn, a forensic psychiatrist, noted, victims often sense danger before fully acknowledging it. Vanessa's digital footprint shows someone recognizing the relationship's risks while still emotionally entangled. Her journals revealed fear mixed with attachment. "I need to stop this before it destroys everything." But his reactions scare me as much as staying does. What began as her escape had become her captivity. In January, Vanessa faced reality after discovering Javier had accessed her private email, evidenced by login alerts from unknown devices. Texts to her friend Lauren showed resolve. "I can't keep this up. The person I thought I knew isn't real. I need out." She consulted a security expert, changed passwords, and logged incidents in a protected file labeled Safeguard. She booked a meeting with her estate lawyer, a meeting she'd never attend. She was bracing for retaliation, said prosecutor Alexandra Reed at trial. She wasn't just ending a fling. She was fortifying her life. Vanessa chose Café Laurent, an upscale bistro on a busy Palm Beach street, for their final meeting. With valet parking, cameras, and familiar staff, it balanced privacy and safety. Her text to Javier was direct. "We need to talk. 8 p.m. Thursday. Café Laurent. This has to end." His reply, "Whatever you want, darling," hid what was to come. On January 17th, Vanessa dressed deliberately, choosing a modest black dress over Javier's preferred styles. Her last call to her assistant included instructions to alert security if she didn't check in by 10 p.m., a precaution that proved too late. Ever notice how big decisions come with physical warnings? That gut feeling or sudden unease. These instincts often spot danger before our minds do. Share your experiences with intuition in the comments. Your story might help others spot red flags. Café Laurent's cameras captured their final exchange. Vanessa arrived at 7:50 p.m., choosing a corner table with clear exit views. Javier arrived at 8:05 p.m., ordered a bourbon, and kept a calm facade for 27 minutes as Vanessa explained her decision. At 8:32 p.m., his demeanor shifted, leaning closer, touching her wrist despite her pulling back, his face tightening. Patrons noted an intensity that unsettled nearby tables, a man whose voice stayed even but whose body screamed anger. At 8:47 p.m., Vanessa signaled for the check. At 8:51 p.m., she left alone. At 8:54 p.m., Javier tossed cash on the table and followed. Street cameras recorded their final moments with cold precision. Javier caught up half a block away, grabbing her arm hard enough to turn her. Their 90-second exchange showed Vanessa's growing alarm and Javier's forceful gestures. When she tried entering a waiting Uber, he blocked the door. The driver's dashcam caught Vanessa's last words. "Let me go. This is why it's over." What followed happened just out of view. Forensic evidence showed Javier pulled Vanessa into a narrow alley. The medical examiner noted defensive wounds, a broken nail in Javier's coat, and fatal manual strangulation lasting about 2 minutes. A passing couple found her body at 9:15 p.m. Despite EMS efforts, Vanessa Hart was pronounced dead at 9:46 p.m., her elegant life snuffed out steps from Palm Beach's luxury. Her death sparked Palm Beach's largest homicide investigation in years. Detective Marcus Rivera, a 20-year veteran, arrived quickly. "The location screamed personal, not random," he testified. Her jewelry, diamond studs, Rolex, wedding ring, was untouched. This wasn't theft. Evidence piled up. Skin under Vanessa's nails, shoe prints in the wet alley, fibers from Javier's clothing. 6 cameras created a timeline of her final hour. "We had it all on tape," said forensic analyst Dr. Kimberly Lynn. From the restaurant to the sidewalk clash to Javier entering the alley at 9:02 p.m. and leaving alone at 9:10 p.m., then driving off. Warrants for their devices uncovered 8,742 texts over 4 months, location data, and deleted cloud photos mapping their affair. Communication spiked until December when Vanessa pulled back, said tech expert James Wilson. Javier's response, doubled messages, location tracking, possessive language, was textbook escalation. By dawn, Javier was arrested at home, claiming he'd been there all night, a lie contradicted by video. His 12-hour interrogation saw 5 shifting stories, ending with a claim of accidental death during an emotional moment, debunked by the medical examiner's report of sustained strangulation. What fascinates you about how truth unravels in investigations? Digital footprints make deception nearly impossible. Which parts of this case show the challenges of hiding in our connected world? Share in the comments. Palm Beach reeled as news spread. Many were less shocked by the affair than its violent end. A year later, Thomas sold the estate and founded the Vanessa Hart Foundation for Relationship Violence Prevention, funding police training and victim support. "I missed the signs," he admitted. "My distance left her vulnerable. Her story might save others." The community tightened security and grew more attentive to neighbors' dynamics. "We confused isolation with privacy," said Association President Eleanor Grant. "Safety means caring, not ignoring." Experts noted how wealth amplified Vanessa's vulnerability. High society pressures to seem perfect prevent help-seeking, Dr. Carter said. Exposure feels catastrophic, letting control thrive unseen. Vanessa's final journal entry, 3 days before her death, showed chilling foresight. His need to control has replaced love. I must break free, no matter the cost. My gut warns the alternative could destroy me. Do you see red flags in relationships around you? Notice someone withdrawing or isolating. Share your observations. Bella Witt could save a life. Javier Cruz remains in Florida State Prison denying guilt despite overwhelming evidence. His appeal was rejected in March. For investigators, the case shows how digital trails ensure accountability. For experts, it reveals how control masks as affection until it doesn't need to. Next episode, we explore another case where wealth and obsession collide. Subscribe and activate notifications to catch this gripping dive into another hidden world where appearances conceal deadly truths.